Hey there, is this you? You support your best friends and family really well, but can't do it for yourself? Yes, this is actually quite a common phenomenon called being a sucker. Just kidding. Let's be real. It's a little tricky, right? If you keep putting everyone else in the spotlight while you stand on the sidelines, you'll never truly shine yourself. What's holding you back from being your own biggest fan? Stick around, and not just because I'm a wise YouTube stickman, but because by the end of this, I'll share 3 key steps to becoming your own biggest fan, so you can start believing in yourself and finally go after the life you've always wanted. Let's dive right in. Number 1, embrace your strengths. Sounds simple, right? But it's actually pretty hard. Most of us tend to focus on what we're lacking rather than what we bring to the table. Have you ever noticed a pimple on your face or a bad hair day, but no one actually notices but you? It's like we're always looking through a magnifying glass at our flaws and mistakes. So why can't we look at our talents the same way? You might be wondering, but how can I do that? Oh, wise stickman. Well, my self-love lacking friend, here's a trick for you. Make a quick mental list of the things you think you're genuinely good at. Even the small stuff. Are you a good listener? Maybe you've got a great sense of humor. Or you can type at lightning speed with one hand, leaving the other free to hold a coffee, pet the cat, or wave at random strangers. When you start focusing on your strengths, you're basically feeding your confidence instead of starving it. It's like author Louise Hay once said, you have been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving yourself and see what happens. What she means is, your unique skills are the secret sauce that only you bring to the world. So don't waste time comparing your recipe to someone else's. Every flavor is different, so let yourself cook. Embrace those talents because they're what make you taste so good. As we dig deeper, if you want to amplify your self-support even more, you'll want to hear about number 2, setting boundaries. Are you the kind of person who doesn't say no? Do you often find yourself in a situation where you feel like you shouldn't be doing something, yet you are doing it? And throughout, you're saying to yourself, why am I here? Yet you are. The solution to this is setting boundaries. It's a crucial key if you want to be your own biggest fan. Now you might be asking, why does it matter, oh handsome stickman? Well, let me give you an example. Imagine you were a smartphone with apps open all day, notifications constantly going off. Without boundaries, your energy drains until you're left at 1%, barely able to function. We as people aren't so different. When you set boundaries, you're protecting that precious battery, saving it for the things and the people that really matter. So just like saying no to some apps and turning off Bluetooth to save power, you need to turn off the things that drain your energy. Think of it as giving yourself permission to say no. I know, it might be hard, but Brené Brown once said, daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. See, boundaries aren't walls. They're more like guidelines that help you stay true to yourself. And anyone who you set boundaries with will actually respect you more because they'll see your time is valuable. So how do we implement this? You'll start by outlining your non-negotiables. Maybe it's time alone on the weekend, a limit on work calls after hours, or a morning routine that's just for you. When you set those lines, you're telling yourself, I respect my time and energy enough to protect it. And trust me, the people who respect you will respect those boundaries too. Next, you'll want to hear the most important key tip, self-compassion. Now, this is one of the most effective ideas to becoming your own biggest fan. How do you treat a good friend or family member who's had a rough day? You'd probably listen to them, give them a hug, tell them not to worry about it, and that tomorrow's a new day, right? But when it happens to us, we're very quick to pile on the negativity on ourselves. Psychologist Kristen Neff said, with self-compassion, we give ourselves the same kindness and care we give to a good friend. Now you might be wondering, but how can I implement this in my life? Oh, beautiful stickman. Well, don't worry, I got you, bro. Imagine you're training for a marathon and you stumble halfway through. You wouldn't say, wow, I'm terrible at this. No, you'd probably tell yourself, hey, that was just a slip up. I've got this. Let's keep going. Now that's self-compassion in action. Next time you mess up or feel down, practice talking to yourself the way you'd talk to someone you love. Replace harsh words with supportive ones. Remind yourself that everyone struggles and that mistakes don't define you. This one habit is like an instant boost to your confidence and self-worth. It's the secret to bouncing back stronger each time you fall. And when you combine this with knowing your strengths and setting boundaries, you're setting yourself up to be your own strongest ally. Ponder on the words of Stephen Covey, who said, "Don't rely on someone else for your happiness and self-worth. Only you can be responsible for that." If you like this video, what's our next one? And don't forget to hit the subscribe.